Okay. Uh, so how's the soup? How's the pho?
It's good. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, thanks for coming to see me. I really appreciated it. We reached out and we set this date a couple weeks ago, and I haven't seen you in a while. So how's your wife?
She's well. She's very busy.
Yeah.
And I think, I was very surprised when you called, but I was, of course, I'll make time for you. And when I knew that you were asking for money, I was so curious about what. So, of course.
Oh, that's great. So thank you again for coming out here. I know this is one of the spots that you really like. So I wanted to make sure that this was, remember the first time you took me here? It was like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This place has changed names like 4 times.
Oh my goodness, I know. But the food is like, what do you think? Better, worse, different?
Not the original, but it's okay.
For sure. Okay, so some of the updates. I don't know if you know this, but I'm at the Community Alliance of Tenants now.
Oh yeah, I think I remember someone telling me that.
Yeah, my official position is policy and organizing manager, but our director's on maternity leave right now, so we're really working as sort of a team. And a lot of the organization is really, I'm doing a lot of the managing work as well. Community Alliance of Tenants has been around for 20 years. And
really?
Yeah, I know, isn't that cool?
Wow, that's almost as long as IRCO.
Yes, but IRCO, has such an important place in our community. I mean, I really, the work that Asian Family Center does and all of the other community-specific centers.
Yeah, I don't know where time went. We had ideas and we just made them happen.
So powerful. And so we're also, I know you know about some of the statewide policy work that we're coordinating at Community Alliance of Tenants. And we're growing to really deepen our presence in the areas that are outside of Portland. And I'm super excited. Our staff is majority folks of color and also really, really diverse. So African American, Latino, Southeast Asian, and so like people who are really able to address the needs of all the specific communities here in Oregon. But I was gonna talk to you today because I don't know if you've thought about estate planning.
Oh yeah, I think I have a will. I know I have a will.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been working with Community Alliance of Tenants just for a short amount of time, but I know that when we've talked before. You were willing to support IRCO, and you're a great donor in the community. And so, let's see. Do you have any thoughts about? So I'm really asking you today is to consider a bequest, which would be putting us in your will. And I was wondering if you have any concerns or questions about it. A bequest can be like a percentage of your total estate, or it can be a fixed amount, depending on what's best for you. Because I know you have all the grandkids, Amanda and I hung out the other week. And so I know, we want to take care of our families and things like that, but because you have such an important presence in the community, this would be an extension of the work that you've done in the community, starting with being my mentor and then onwards. Being the first Southeast Asian graduate of the university in Florida.
Oh yeah, a long time ago. Yeah. Oh, well, I think I'd have to know more about what Community Alliance of Tenants is, and what you do there.
Yeah.
Specifically. I know that there's a connection to immigrants and refugees.
Absolutely.
And that's what I care most about.
Yeah.
So I want to know more about that. And it's good that you're asking for a bequest, because that means I have to give no money up front.
Exactly. We just try to take care of you. And so, I know that you're so busy, especially like with the temple and also with IRCO. So, I know that it should I didn't
I know
want to
they
take
can't
more
get
time.
they can't get rid of me. I retired so long ago that they can't get rid of me.
So I didn't want to take up any of your current time. So, Community Alliance of Tenants really is the premier statewide organization that organizes tenants to understand and exercise their rights. And so that's what we do. We've been around for 20 years. Our annual budget's at $1 million a year right now, so
that's
it's a good
great.
It's a good organization.
Congratulations. that's a big accomplishment. You should be very proud.
Thanks. It feels good to be part of a really strong organization, with a lot of people and staff really serving the needs of immigrants and refugees and a lot of other, tenants throughout the state of Oregon. I think that we have at our last rally in Salem around the policy stuff that we're working on, our tenants, a majority of them are immigrants and refugees who showed up, and I'm so proud of that. And that was really important to us, that people who face a lot of barriers actually get a chance to succeed and thrive and to stay in their communities. I know we talked about North Portland and how it used to be all Hmong and Southeast Asian, and it's changed a lot, and that's a lot related to rents and things like that, pushing people out further and further.
I agree. Yes. But I'm not sure our programs are ready to do anything about that. None of our programs are really set to prevent that or stop it. Yeah, at IRCO. So I'm not sure. I am on. If you're saying that Community Alliance of Tenants knows what to do, please tell us what to do.
Yeah, we just started this really exciting partnership with IRCO, so I think it'll be really powerful to work with IRCO to figure out the right solutions. I think we have 2 bills in the state legislature. One is stopping no-cause evictions, so you would only be able to evict the tenants who really deserve it through a just cause evictions process. We want it to be fair, and then also something that would be that would keep rents affordable for, as a lot of the immigrants and refugees in town. There are folks who have a lot of money, but there's a lot of folks who just make a very modest income, and we want to make sure to be able to keep them in town, in our communities as well. So those are 2 of the things that, when we did a nationwide research, actually are some of the key things that stabilize people and stabilize communities. So those are 2 of the things, and we're working in with IRCO to see if that makes sense and what other things that people need. We have that statewide tenant hotline, so that when people have issues, they can call us and get referrals to information and to services or whatever they need, so that they can take care of the properties, but they can also take care of their families.
What languages do you speak on the hotline?
At CAT, in our 211? That's a really good question. I know that on staff we have Spanish speakers and Vietnamese speakers, and then I know that we have had folks who also spoke Burmese and Lao, but I don't know right now what languages are the hotline addressing.
Just realizing that, especially with Africa House getting as busy as it's getting, there are just so many new languages that are coming.
Yeah.
And then we also have so many new Syrian and Iraqi families moving here. We can't keep up.
Yeah. No, it's so
I'm
true.
I'm very concerned about them.
Yes. We had a really successful organizing model with all the different communities. So we were working with the Karen community a lot and doing a lot of language specific outreach. And then I think this, but also that's one of the benefits of partnering with IRCO, is that there's a possibility that we can actually expand, like you said, the sort of different language capacities that people need, whether it's through their interpretation service or through some of their other relationships. I think that's really important, because we have the expertise on what people need, and what services there are and how to refer them, but also to track the data, right? When people move out.
Yes, that's very important.
Right?
That's very important.
And so being statewide and while we expand, those are the kinds of things that really a bequest or any donation to CAT would help us do, is expand the language services, but then also really be able to track folks, because it's hard when tenants are moving to keep track of where they go, because they just want to start their lives. So that's what I'm hoping for us to do, and that would actually make it stronger. If people are moving out to, like you said earlier, to Woodburn, or to McMinnville, we want to know that and not have them just sort of not lose track of them once they leave Portland metro area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is so common, and we're seeing it happen not just to Asian refugees, but now to African refugees.
Yeah.
So,
I did an intake with someone out in Forest Grove.
Yeah,
it was like
moving
and
so
it was
far.
rural, and they were the only African family in their entire middle school and high school.
Yeah, and those communities don't know how to work with us. So, I have major concerns. And so you're saying that that's housing related? That's like in terms of what's available to them, or?
I think the prices are going up so quickly. We have so many calls to the hotline where people are just saying like their rent just got raised $500.
That's so interesting, because I own properties too, and I haven't raised I raise my rents when I need to repair something, or when I need to redo something major on the houses I own.
Right.
But I know that my rents are way below what I think the rest of the city is doing. Why is that?
Because you're a good landlord. You're a good person who cares about the community and cares about people, especially immigrants and refugees and children and families. Remember there was recently one of the buildings that Kat works with, the whole building received eviction notices, and we were able to fight it back. The landlord took back the eviction, but
how many families?
Oh my goodness, it was over 72 families, and nearly three.
Are you kidding me?
300 or 400 people in total. Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So that's we know that. Those are the ones. That's what's happening to a lot of the bigger buildings with the property management companies, and they're not a really good person like you who is taking care of your house, taking care of the quality of your properties, and then also charging fair rents to your tenants.
Yeah. Well, I like that it sounds like you are covering all the bases in terms of services, and then also I like your statewide strategy to try to affect policy. So when you say that you're organizing, what are you organizing for?
I think, one of the key issues is that a lot of tenants don't know their rights, or when they know their rights, they don't feel like they can exercise them because they could be put on a blacklist for tenants. It could make it harder for them to find a new place to live. If anything affects their credit, it even affects their ability to buy a home in the future if they're ever in a position to do that. And so we're trying to make sure that people are okay with that, they know their rights, that they know what their access to services are, but also that when people exercise their rights, they're not getting retaliated against.
Yes, that is a problem. I think we still see that all the time.
There's still discrimination against immigrants and refugees.
Yes, constantly.
When people try to find homes, and I think that's really important as a tenants' rights agency. Again, to have that kind of information, to be able to advocate for policy change, and then we have never done this at CAT, but certainly I know in other places where tenants, where there's a pattern of discrimination, there's also legal remedies that I think it's time in our state that we start to explore those as well.
Well, yeah, if I would love to learn more about exactly what you're doing and how you're doing it. I'll check with people, with staff at IRCO to hear about this new partnership. I'm really interested to see how that'll work. It sounds like if you're thinking about the different language groups, that's great, but sometimes it takes a lot more work than just thinking about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
To make sure that those are being addressed, because so many new languages are coming, and we can't keep up.
What would you say would be a good way to enter a partnership with IRCO?
Well, right now, so I'm really far, since I retired, I'm not as close to the programming, the day-to-day programming, as I
Right.
used to be.
Yeah.
But I would say that, you know, it's about also be thinking about long-term. Like what do you want people, not just what is the service that they need, but
Mhm.
what do you, how do we get to self-sufficiency
Yeah.
is something that we've been really committed to at
Mhm.
Urco, but sometimes we don't always get to do
Yeah.
because the funding isn't
Mhm.
available for
Right.
self-sufficiency. It's only available for services.
Mm.
So trying to figure that out
Yeah.
is always really hard, and it takes a very long time.
Yeah.
Look at me. I've been doing this for more than 45 years. So
Yeah.
you
That
never
sounds-
know. You never know what, you know, and when the feds, they have lots of big money,
Uh-huh.
but they also sometimes don't understand.
Yeah, I know, right, Mr. Homestead? That's why having you around is so helpful, because I think you also know how to talk to the different government agencies in a way that recognizes their needs and then sort of pushes them a little bit to do more, or to understand a little bit more about what we're doing. I think if Kat and Urco get together, I think it would be one of the most powerful partnerships in terms of protecting tenants' rights and immigrants and refugees at the same time in the state of Oregon. I think that would absolutely be the most powerful thing that we could do right now, because Urco's reach is so deep, you know, and has such trust in so many communities.
Oh, that took so long to make happen.
And you were such a key part of it,
But
you know?
so let's talk some more. I don't know. I guess since I don't have to pay any money now, I'm happy to keep talking.
Yeah, this is the information about the bequest,
Okay.
so that you can look that over, talk it over with your family, or if you have, you know, a lawyer who does your will, you know, they can tell you. And any questions that you have, please feel free to call me. If it's okay with you, I'd like to check in with you a couple times over the next couple months.
Oh
So,
yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
Now, tell me, do you have another favorite pho place that we should meet at, and then maybe?
Oh yeah, let's try the one over on near Foster.
Okay.
Let's
Oh
try
yeah.
that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Sweet. And maybe I'll call you in like 2 weeks, and we can meet up next month sometime and just see where you're at.
Yeah. Just send me an email and we'll
Okay.
figure it out.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Homestead. It's good to see you again.
Oh yes, absolutely.
And I'm paying, FYI, today
Oh,
and
thank
next
you.
time.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. Just so you know, I'll see you again soon.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.